So today's video is all about, I'm doing a comparison between, now it's going to be a bit odd, so I'm going to do a comparison between a Keeley Modded Super Overdrive, the SD1, okay, but it's a Keeley Modded Super Overdrive. And I'm going to do a comparison between that and a sort of like a TS09 808 sort of thing in the Line6 Helix. But I'm also going to bring in the Super Overdrive emulation from the Line6 Helix. So today's video, okay? When I started exploring or re-exploring my heavy tones, so generally when I was playing live, when I was doing a lot of live, when I was playing with a band, my actual live setup was this amp behind me, 5153, EVH 5153, going through a orange 2x4, and I didn't really drive the amp, even though I was playing like sort of like hard rock metal, alternative metal. I wasn't really driving the amp that much. Like I would always say, like the gain on here is about, say, 11 o'clock, and then on that channel it was just a little bit lower, even though that was my lead channel. The third channel was my lead channel. I actually put a little bit less gain on it. I'm not a gain person. Whenever I hear a very high gain tone, I love it. I like, you know, it's it's great. Okay, like anybody that does, like all those amazing metal guitarists out there that do superb high gain tones, you know, I just love what they do. But when it came to my playing, when it came to what I want, how I hear my sound, it's not something that I really gravitated to. So when it came to exploring the sort of like the HX Stomp and with the sounds that it could do, the first thing that I realized is that the 5150 and the HX Stomp is based on the old 5150, which does have its uses, but it's not for me. I didn't quite gel with it, so that went out the window straight away. And I was trying to find a new amp, and I just absolutely through like a long story, I fell in love with the sort of like the Mark IV or the Mark V emulation in the Line6 Helix, okay? And I think it's absolutely superb. This thing sounds amazing. There's a lot of tweaking involved, but when it came to driving the amp through the lead 1 and lead 2, it wasn't for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. So once I found my favorite settings, I actually read about a lot of players driving the amp a little bit with a TS9, okay, a tube screamer pedal. Which okay, so there's several actually in the Line6 Helix, which is great, but which one do I use? So I just went with the classic one, and I played through it, and I actually reamped my album, which by the time this video comes out, is either the album is either going to be available on streaming or available to a pre-order, whichever, links in the description below. But I reamped the album and I reamped my guitars because I recorded everything direct, and I just didn't feel that it worked really well. Like there's a lot of videos that I've put out on YouTube. You can check all the playlists sort of thing where I'm featuring this amp, and I'll do like a link to that playlist. It sounded great at the time, but then when I started reamping, I kind of thought to myself, there's something missing here, there's too much here, there's not enough here, there's not enough punch, for example, all of that kind of stuff. Or it could be the way I'm using it. But then I saw a couple of other videos, and I just remembered as well, that Zakk Wylde uses the SD1 to drive his Marshall amp. I was like, interesting. I mean, they both do the mid-hum thing as pedals. But anyways, I watched a video by a guitarist called Yuji Valavera. Check out his channel. He's amazing. I think it's Yuji. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But in all of his videos, he kept talking about how he likes to drive the amp with a SD1. And I'm like, interesting, okay. And then he played through the Mark V, and I was like, wow, that sounds spectacular. That actually brings out a lot of things that I want to bring out in a pedal, and it takes away a lot of things that I don't like about having the TS9 in front of a overdriven amp. So my sound that I'm going through, so if I just play you the bass sound of what I'm actually doing in the Line6 Helix. The reason why I wanted it to be so low gain is because I wanted to use my heavy rhythm channel at times as a crunch channel, or as a secondary crunch channel. So for me, that's a good platform for a sound. I mean, if I put a little bit of delay on it, for example. So it's a delay pedal, like with a delay pedal, it sounds like a sort of like a really low gain, nice like lead sound. So my first experimentations came with using the TS9 with the pedal, with the amp. And as a lead sound. So as a lead sound, it works really, really well in this kind of setting. When I started my journey sort of thing with the various like TS9 pedals in the Line6, I actually went with the classic one. And like I said, like some instances for me it sounded great. Sometimes there was stuff missing. I think there was a lot going on. There's some transients, maybe you could say, or anything like that I didn't quite like, because I'm using it as a boost, okay, so no drive at all, volume cranked, tone maybe about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock maybe for both pedals, okay, and it's just using it as a boost just to see what happens, just to see what things sound like, just to see how things go. So for the TS9, I found, like, generally I thought to myself, you know, there's things in it that sound great, things in it that don't sound great. So let's start with the TS9 in the Line6 Helix. Now this is not to say that the TS9 in the Line6 Helix sounds rubbish, or the pedals in the Line6 Helix sound rubbish. They don't, they sound great. But I already have the SD1, and I just wanted to compare it to the TS9 and the Line6 Helix, so why not use the Keeley Modded SD1 and see what that sounds like. As you can see, it brings the amp up, it makes it tighter, it's like definitely like those, it kind of sounds like that. It's kind of like that John Petrucci sort of palm mute. like but again, like when I was reamping, I just thought there was a lot missing, sort of thing. Like, oh, there's a lot added. So if I go to single coil sounds. Sort of thing for me, just and treble. It still sounds great. I'm not knocking it, but I just want to do a comparison sort of thing. Now, if I turn this off and I switch on the SD1. Definitely sounds better to my ears, right? So let's listen to that palm mute. I think you guys will hear, like, once I get the video out and you can hear like the recording through the DAW, hopefully you'll hear it. So there's definitely a difference for me, and it's subtle. It can be subtle. I'm not entirely sure. You can tell I'm the professional here. So, I think, for me personally, I much prefer the SD1. Let's listen to that riff with the TS9. I think if I was going to describe it using a plethora of adjectives that are used by guitarists, I think the TS9 for me sounds colder, and the SD1 sounds warmer. I think that's the way, in some settings that, you know, if you want that clank, for example, in a mix, you know, like to work with the bass, so if you've got like a really mid high gain sort of like bass sound, for example, you know, like that clank that modern metal is known for on the bass. So if you want that and that works for you, maybe a TS9 on the amp will work for you, because it just brings out that coldness, that iciness sort of thing on that. With the TS9, a delay. So this is a kind of lead tone that I would use while I'm recording, maybe, or in the studio, just to overdub things but not clash with a different lead sound that I've got. So Keeley Modded SD1. Listen to that neck pickup again. Let's do that same riff again with the neck pickup. Let's try it through the SD1. Sorry, the Ts9 with the Line6 Helix. I would say definitely on the neck. So that was the Keeley Modded SD1, Ts9. I think the SD1 brings out that single chord character a little bit more as well. It doesn't over things. Don't know what that meant, but it just sounds like the Ts9 in the Line6 Helix just sort of, I don't know, it's just too much of a mid-hump maybe. I think that's what I'm having a problem with. It cuts the bass a bit too much for me compared to the compared to the SD1. I think the SD1 is warmer, definitely. Okay, anyways. So I just wanted to do a comparison video for you guys so you could hear sort of like my thoughts. So I'm going in the studio really soon, at like sort of like the week following me recording this video, and I've been really digging through, like making sure that the amp tones that I have and the heavy tones that I have are pretty much fit for purpose on there. So in conclusion, guys, in conclusion, I much prefer the Boss SD1 as a boost for heavy amps. The TS808 definitely has its uses. I think the TS808 or the Tube Screamer is the Tube Screamer emulation in the Line6 Helix. I think it just adds a slight ice pickiness to the amp. And I've tried it through a variety of amps that I've got, and well, not amps that I've got, but a variety of amps that I've got in the Line6 Helix, and I definitely just prefer the nature and the topology of the SD1. So yeah, just wanted to, and that's it really. Hopefully I can hear your thoughts on this as well, guys, because I think whatever you're doing, like for me, like as a bass sound, so, or as a bass to myself, or as a bass tone, let's say. I think this really works. Now I can actually boost the lead 1 and the lead 2 on the actual amp, but I just don't know, like these are my settings, so I've got 6 and 7, 7 and 6, okay? And I just think that this works overall in terms of like my tone and what I want to do. But when I add the SD1, works. I like it, and I think that's all the point of the video. Just wanted to show off really that I've got a Keeley Modded SD1. So anyways, thank you for watching this video, guys. My name is Sema. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, comment, like. It really helps this channel a lot when you comment, okay? And also also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more future videos. And also don't forget to ring the bell for more notifications, for more videos like this, for more videos on the Line6 Helix, on this beautiful instrument that's called the guitar. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.